Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Purls and Pyrs podcast. I am your host, Nina, otherwise known as Ine on Ravelry, Instagram, and Pinterest. And for new viewers, thank you so much for checking me out. And for returning viewers, thank you so much for joining me again. I appreciate each and every one of you. So today is a very, very hot day, and this is a little bit last minute. Because Josh took the kids to the lake, so I thought I would try to just record something. With the heat index, I think we're at 110 right now, which is really hot. But we're lucky to have air conditioning, so that's nice. We have central air conditioning. We put in a geothermal several years ago into our house, and it is great. This is the second house we've put a geothermal into, and would do it again if we had to. So this is a slightly different angle, partly because I have to have my phone plugged in. My battery is low, but I need to seize the moment in terms of recording. I thought what I would do today is go through all of my project bags, both knitting and cross stitch, and see what's going on in there, and decide what things maybe I don't want to continue with. I definitely have some cross stitch that I want to rip out and repurpose the fabric, because kind of Frosted Pumpkin Stitchery got me back into cross stitching, which is great. But there are a couple of them that I think maybe aren't suitable anymore, because I was kind of doing them with the thought of putting them in my kids' rooms, and my kids are older now, so they're kind of not into the same stuff that they were before. The ones I'm thinking of are the Under the Sea stitch along and the Into the Jungle stitch along, so I'm definitely going to rip those out, and I'm going to repurpose the fabric. I think one of them I'll probably do for one of those dragons that I showed in a couple episodes ago. And then, I don't know, the other fabric I may just hold on to. So I do have some ideas of things I want to do, and I've purchased some, I've got a really bad cramp in this shoulder. Like, I could not wear a bra because it was pushing like right on that nerve. Yeah, I think I've just been mousing too much for work yesterday and today, and probably doing a lot of twisting, because I've had to work from home the last 2 days. Yesterday, sorry, I'm going off on tangents. Yesterday I had a cloth-room appointment for Ada, which turned into they wanted to do blood work for her as well, because she got her eye mass removed last year in the summer, so that made her blood work be off from her normal, whatever, annual stuff. So I was like, yeah, go ahead and do it. But because of that, I decided, okay, I'm going to work from home. So I didn't have to rush to get home in time for her appointment, which was good because they needed to see her earlier because one of their techs called out sick. And then today I intended to drive into work, but I basically started working at 4 a.m. and I could not get up from my desk to do anything more than like go to the bathroom and get a cup of coffee until like 1 o'clock. So at that point I already had worked an 8-hour day, and yeah, this is a lot. So at 2 o'clock I called it, although I've still been checking my work phone because there are still people working till 5, but because it's right before July 4th, so it's the July 4th holiday, because we get off the day before, since July 4th this year falls on a Saturday, so I get the 3rd. So it's July 2nd, 2026. So anyway, long story short, I wanted to repurpose those two pieces, the fabric. I just purchased the fabric and the thread to do the Book Goddess pattern by Tiny Modernist. I've kept looking at it for probably 2 months now, and I think it's really cute. It just like speaks to all of my hobbies. I think it'll be really cute in my office hanging up. And then I want to do the Greenhouse of Oddities stitch along from Lola Crow. I already had fabric in my stash that I bought from Picture This Plus years ago. They used to do a sale once a year, and I think it was like around Labor Day. It was their Labor Day sale, and you can get like all kinds of their different dyed fabrics, and you basically just like have to wait forever to get them. But it is way cheaper. So I got this very big piece of 32 count Lagana, which is the equivalent of like a 16 count Haida. And it is the Legacy colorway. So it's just kind of like a, I don't know, parchmenty beige, basically. And I had 2 of the colors for the Lola Crow stitch along. Black, obviously, which is 310, and this sort of taupey color, 453. And of course I had no other threads of theirs. Now, I would have in the past run out to Joann's and got a bunch of flosses, but there is no Joann's anymore. We do have a cross stitch store, but they are open really weird hours, and I think only on Saturdays. They're closed on Sundays, and then they're open like Tuesday through Saturday or something weird like that. So anyway, I got all of my threads from 123 Stitch online. Was it 123 Stitch or was it Lindy Stitches? I think it was 123 Stitch. They have a feature where you can just like copy paste from patterns or charts, whatever, all of the colors, and if they're separated by a comma, it'll just let you add them all to the cart instead of having to sit there and like click on each one. Amazing. That's a great feature. So I added in all of the Book Goddess colorways and all of the ones for the Lola Crow. I didn't realize I had these 2, so I think I did order them, but it turns out I needed extra ones of the black. I need 3, and I only had 1. And this other color, I don't remember. There's one that I need 2 of. So anyway, all set for that one, or those 2. They will be coming in the mail on Monday, I think. So yeah, let's kind of dive into what is going on, and I'll just kind of grab stuff around me. I have like, I don't know, I'm surrounded by junk, and there's some bags down there as well. Maybe I'll just like pause when I need to get more, and I will come back. Let's see, is that okay? That's okay. Sorry, my laundry basket is right there. Need to fold. I went and hung clothes out on the line, and I just haven't folded them all. So the first bag, I'm sure this is a cross stitch bag. So I have this, which is really a lot of the way done. This was the Sweetest Pie stitch along from a couple years ago from Frosted Pumpkin Stitchery. So it had, let's see, it has 12 pieces of pie, duh, you know, because it's one for every month. Yeah, and with this one you got recipes to make the pie for each month, and this is where the peppermint pie recipe came from, which we now make every year as a family tradition, and it is Josh's favorite pie. So I have finished the key lime. I think that's the only one that's actually done. I'm most of the way done with the blueberry pie. I think I didn't like the eyes they did, so I was kind of thinking about a different color because it was like this color blue, but they sort of look creepy. So I think I was thinking about maybe green eyes or something not so weird. They just look very stark. This is an Oreo pie. This one is apple, I think. There's a cherry pie up here. This is a rhubarb, I think. This one's a chocolate silk pie, lemon meringue, and then I think the peppermint pie is somewhere down in here. So anyway, it has a crust border around it. So I do want to finish this one. I actually put it in my notebook for July. So, can I find that? This notebook, the Whip Warriors 2026 diary, I decided I would start with July, and then I'll just circle around. So in the new starts, I wrote some knitting projects that I started. I have to add on the, I've started a cross stitch. And then anything I finish would go here. There's a whip tracker, so you write your whips you want to work on down this way, and then you check off every day that you worked on them. So I've decided sweetest pie, stitch along, Halloween wreath, the Halloween sampler from Frosted Pumpkin Stitchery, which I will share soon, my sock witchery blanket, because I think I could get closer to being done with that. I can finish that this year. The Elf Felici socks, which I started at Christmas time, I think, or the beginning of Advent, I think. I'm making some Fox colorwork hand warmers and my Warm Breeze cardigan. I will probably add some things on here as I go, so I left myself about half the spaces to fill in, because I know once I get the stuff for it, I want to start the book goddess as well. I'm looking for my phone and it's literally the thing I'm talking into. Oh my goodness. Apparently Tour de France is this month, so, you know, usually there's Tour de Fleece, but I haven't spun in a hot second, so I probably am not going to do that. However, I might do some Tour de France stitching or knitting. And then on notes, I just put like the two patterns that I'm thinking about starting, which is the Book Goddess and Greenhouse of Oddities, as I've said. So anyway, I've got those in there to track. The second thing I've got in this fun little bag, I think this is called Cozy Cafe. It was a stitch along by Frosted Pumpkin Stitchery. I also want to finish this one. I think it and the Sweetest Pie stitch along will be really cute in my dining room / living room. Wow, I look really washed out now. So both of these I got kits from Frosted Pumpkin Stitchery. I have only done the center cup, which is the first one. It was the mocha, and it has a little panda on it. He doesn't have a nose, so I still need to do the nose. And then those are raspberries. It's a raspberry mocha, and it does have beading, but you know, obviously I got to do the beads at the end because you can't put beads into a Q stab. So this next one I think is an Earl Grey tea, so I started the teacup, but that's all the further I got. It's really cute, all done though. It's a cute one, so I definitely do want to continue with that project, but not necessarily this month, because I kind of want to finish the Sweetest Pie first. I'm keeping all my stuff in this for that one because it has a little top pocket. So that's where all my beads are, is in this little top pocket thing in this guinea pig unicorn bag. And it also can fit on a journal. And then there's all my threads for the Cozy Cafe. I should check in here and see if I have any of the colors I would have needed for the other ones. Or maybe I shouldn't do that, because stealing from the other ones is probably not a good idea. Then I've got, these are all my specialty threads. The Sweetest Pie had a lot of specialty threads. I remember that. So like the crust is this like variegated thread. That's probably where that red goes. I found this weird red in my organizer, my thread organizer. I was like, what is this for? I don't buy specialty threads unless there was a project. So I do think it's probably for this Sweetest Pie stitch along. Yeah, I better check that out. And the last thing in this bag is from Pyrs. It is the pig. But I don't have any of the other threads in here, so this is the front part of the pig. I know where the box is for this though, and I didn't know where the front of him was. So Joshua and I did some of the embroidery for him. And Pyrs is just like little pre-printed animals. Hey, Desiree. So I want to finish the pig because I have some nice memories of Joshua and I embroidering the piggy together. Joshua's not really into pigs anymore, but I think it would be cute to make it still and display it. It could just sit on one of my shelves or in my yarn baskets or something. So there's a lot in this one bag. Okay, in this bag, okay, some more cross stitch. Hi, baby. Her nose is so dry. I need to find, we have this nose butter. I keep seeing like glimmers in the trees and thinking it's them coming home. We have this nose butter because she gets really weird, like leathery patches on the top of her nose. I need to find it. She desperately needs nose butter. Oh boy. Okay, so this is my Christmas sampler from Frosted Pumpkin Stitchery. I don't know why all of my stuff is Frosted Pumpkin Stitchery right now. I do also want to finish this because there's a Halloween one and then there's a Christmas one. So I've done so far the C and the H and a little bit of the border. Not very much. This one is on 32 count. I know it's pictures this plus. I think it's gingerbread is the fabric color. I usually just got the kits because it was easier because Frosted Pumpkin Stitchery does really nice kits. They give you the linen, they give you all the threads, it has a pack of needles in it, you're basically good to go. And then you just print your chart, go to town. So this is the first one I had worked in a long time on anything except for 28 count, which is the equivalent of 14 count if you work over 2. And I really like stitching on linen. It's nice. I didn't learn to stitch on linen. I learned to stitch on Aida cloth. But I do actually prefer linen because it's not so stiff. And I think it looks really pretty. But yeah, I do want to finish this. Now that I have my cross stitch stand, I just feel so much better about stitching. It's a game changer. So nice. So much nicer. So I've got that in there. Got some little thread bobbins from Katrinkles. This one is shameful, and I need to finish it like super bad. And I think this one could hang in my office. Yeah, I originally made this to go in Meg's room when they were very little. So I finished this mostly in 2014. I finished all the stitching in 2014. It is the Once Upon a Time sampler from Frosted Pumpkin Stitchery. This is the first cross stitch I had done in probably like 20 years. So it was a monthly stitch along with fairy tale characters. And so I did all of the stitching. The stitching is all done. However, I have not done all of the back stitch. So that's why it's not finished. So it's things like Thumbelina, her walnut shell has like backstitching, and like the Bremen Town Musicians, I think there's whiskers on the cat. I think that's what's missing. The whatever, Little Red Riding Hood, the wolf has has glasses, so there's a thing that should go across the glasses. This is Hansel and Gretel, so they need mouths, and I think their eyes are not backstitched. Maybe they are. Maybe their eyes are backstitched. Yeah, I think they just need mouths. Also, Little Red Riding Hood needs a mouth. The fairy godmother does not have a mouth, but I want to add a mouth because I think she looks kind of creepy without a mouth. So I'm going to give her a little smile, tiny smile. And I think other than that, I need to do, no, I did the bricks. Okay, so I did the bricks on the Three Little Pigs house. I knew I didn't have that before. So I really don't have much to go. I just need to go do those couple of things I just went through, and then I'm done. Yeah, and then it needs to get a little wash and a block. And I would need to take it to get, I wanted to take it to get it framed, because I don't know anything about framing, and this is like a really big piece to frame myself. So yeah, I think I would take it to get it framed. But that is like 99% done. And like I said, it's pretty sad that it isn't all the way done. It's been sitting in that state for 12 years now. Right? 12 years. Yeah. Okay, that's everything that's in that bag. That one needs to be done. This is Josh's sweater. The So Basic. I think so. One of the cuffs, I think I must have just used a different size needle. I don't know what I did, to be honest. Because, or he stretches one out more than the other. But look at this. Look at the difference between these two cuffs, and they have the same amount of stitches. So either he really stretches out one of these, or I just did it on a bigger needle. There, so you can truly see it. It's at like an inch bigger. So he asked me if I could rip it out and reknit the cuff, and I was like, yeah, I absolutely can. I have more of this yarn, so I think what I'm going to do is I'm just gonna rip it down and reknit it with fresh yarn, because I don't feel like ripping it out, washing the yarn, blocking the yarn, rewinding the yarn, and reknitting it. I think I'm going to go down to a 2.5 mil needle. I bet I used a 2.75 mil needle. Yeah, so that's just a small fix I need to do, but that's why it's wadded up on my couch, and I need to get that done before next fall when he's going to want to wear it again. That's just there for funsies. I was using it at work. This is just a put together project. It's not, it hasn't been cast on. It was the Silverberg, and I was going to use this, which is the City So Nice, they named it twice, yarn from Lola Bean Yarn Co. I think this is the Wax Bean colorway, or Wax Bean colorway, Wax Bean base. So I have 2 skeins of that. But that has not been started yet. It's just sitting in a project bag waiting to be started. So we're not going to count that as a whip because it's just a queued up project. Next behind me, these, oh, that isn't what I thought it was. I thought these were the Midwest Nice socks. This is my Elf Felici socks. Yay! Because I was going to have to go hunt these down. I was hoping that as part of this whip, checking all my bags, I would find them. But yeah, awesome. Okay, so these are the Vanilla Bean socks by Emily O'Grady, who was Ooh Fancy Pants on Ravelry. I don't know if she's still on Ravelry. She had a podcast. Anyway, yeah, so I've obviously finished one sock, cast on the other sock, but I have not even joined it in the round. So I was like, I'm sure I went, okay, I'm gonna get this on the needles so I don't crap out on it, and then I proceeded to crap out on it. So anyway, yeah, I think this is the Elf colorway from Felici, and I was using this mini skein. I believe it's Molly Girl Yarns. It's a sparkle mini skein, and it's like a neon green, and it's a whatever, the black light activated yarn. Oh, I'm excited I found that. I am definitely going to work on that tonight because I want to finish that second sock and get these off the needles. And it's in a project bag that I won from the Happy Little Yarn podcast. Okay. Yeah, now I'm wondering where the Midwest Nice socks are. Whatever. That is it on the back of the couch. Then this one has been in this bag for a long, long time. It is this called the Zelda tee? Feel like it is. Sometimes I don't print out the first page of patterns because I don't want to waste the printer ink, because designers always do this big full color photo of their stuff. This is actually the last page of it. Yeah, but this is the Zelda crop. This is what it looks like. The pattern is by, what is her name? Handmade Closet Designs. Yeah. There's more. Olga Putano. There we go. The Zelda Crop by Olga Putano. This was when she was still going by Handmade Closet. I'm pretty sure now she just goes by Olga Putano. Okay, I cast this on in this colorway is the Yarn at Home Mom. It is a donut that tastes like a grapefruit. And then this other colorway was like an extra one-off colorway that she did. And this was what I had left from another sweater that I knit that I have since given away. I donated it for one of the, whatever. At India Untangled, they do like collections of knitted stuff to donate. I think it was to the Trevor Project. But anyway, I do not remember the name of this colorway. It's something like ocean related, like Fathom or whatever, but it's fine. She doesn't dye yarn anymore anyway, so you can't get it. But it's sparkly. It's sparkly. So I got up through just a bit of the color work. I finished the short row shaping, and that is all the farther that I've got on that. My plan is to do, the color work yoke with this, and then the main body of the sweater will be in this colorway. So it's kind of a peachy color. It is Oh boy. Dream in Color Smushy. In the Giant Peach colorway. Like James and the Giant Peach. So I do want to do this sweater. I do still want this sweater. I think it will be really cute. Especially now that I work in the office again. I need more sweaters. And our side of the building doesn't have, like, it's weird. So the thermostat is on the opposite end of the building. And there aren't vents at that end. So it's like the AC has to work to cool this whole big, long building. And so my office and a couple other people's offices on my team are like right under the air handler. So they're very, very cold in the summer. Oh my God, my eyes are super itchy. So basically, I've been wearing knit tees, and then I wear a knitted cardigan while I'm in the office over top of my knitted tee. But then I can take off my cardigan and walk around the rest of the building where it's warmer and still be okay. So I need more knitted tees for summertime. So that one I'm definitely going to keep. Oh boy. Let's see. Sorry. And the last one on the couch, this has to be the Midwest Nice Socks. Yes, it is the Midwest Nice Socks. Oh, they're coming back. This is going to have to be a two-parter. So these are the Midwest Nice Socks. The yarn is Yellow Orchid from Parkour Kitties. And the pattern is by Lindsay Kirchner, who is Sock Witchery. I'm going to do this for the heels and toes because it has like, it's a kind of semi-solid color for the sock, and it has like a triangle pattern. Kind of can't see it because I haven't done very much. And then it has a variegated heel and toe. So that also is going to stay on the needles. And we will pause/stop there. So it's been 30 minutes and we've just finished the couch. We'll come back.